Bring on spring as planters hit the field. This week on Grow, why some farmers are waiting to hit the field and how farmers can save on input costs by changing seeding rates without a big yield hit. And the Hastings College rodeo team rides for the final time. It's time to grow. Welcome to the program where it feels good to be able to say planting is underway. Some, though, remain sidelined because of cool soil temperatures. Things starting to warm up now. NTV's Lauren Coomer has more on some of the conditions that we've been dealing with.
Lexington farmer Don Beatty says he's getting a late start in corn planting because of the temperatures, but he says he's not too antsy yet.
It's cold.
Beatty says for mid-April, it's been a cool, wet spring.
We like to wait until the soil temperature is approaching 50 degrees at 6 in the morning, and it's still only about 40 degrees here, so it's still really not ready to plant corn yet.
For this time of year, he says they normally would have already started to plant.
As long as we can get our corn planted by the 1st of May, we're happy. And so with equipment that we have today, we can get a lot of corn planted pretty fast.
According to the Nebraska Extension in Dawson County, soil temperatures are extremely important.
The problems going into it for planting season is that if you got good moisture, but it's cold soil temperatures, you can get some chilling effects to that seed when you plant it, and that can be really damaging. You can have reduced germination rates that can eventually lead to poor emergence and then poor stands.
The cold weather keeping soil temps below the recommended 50 degrees at dawn, 4 inches deep into the soil.
Another thing that we need to consider with our soil temperature is the amount of days that we have that good, 50-degree day span. For corn, they like to see, 48 hours minimum after you plant of having that 50-degree temperatures plus good moisture.
But Civitz says there's no reason to worry if you haven't started planting.
We're still okay. Around here, mid-April to mid-May, it just depends on, relative maturity, if you have those cold-tolerant hybrids and your operational needs.
Days like today, this is a wonderful day today. Sounds like this weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, is supposed to be up in the upper 70s. It's going to be wonderful. Gets us all excited, especially when we've had so many 30s and snow and everything else this spring.
As the temperatures increase, so will soil temps. And by the way the forecast is looking, Civitz says farmers should be able to start planting by the end of the week. Lauren Coomer, NTV News, Lexington.
Many of you are just getting started on the planter. Let's take a look at our poll results. We wanted to know if you've made good progress, are just getting rolling, or haven't started. You can see results on the screen and follow us on Twitter. The most recent government snapshot shows things are running behind. The USDA's report from the past week shows 2% of corn has been planted. That's well behind 15% last year. 1% of soybeans are in the ground, and that's pretty typical for this time of year. Looking at crop conditions, winter wheat continues to rate mostly good to fair. And the debate over property tax relief takes another twist as organizers of a petition drive end their effort. Bayard Senator Steve Erdman tells Grow he feels like he was stabbed in the back. He was the biggest cheerleader for the effort. Many farmers are frustrated, including one who got the news while he was on the tractor. With commodity prices low, as we know, and input costs high, he was counting on the ballot plan to cut taxes.
Some expenses we can control. We can't control property taxes. We have to pay it no matter what, and there's going to be a hurt for a lot of farmers, a lot of ranchers, and we need that relief now. We can't wait 10, 15 years. It's got to be right now. It's getting pretty serious.
That last comment is a reference to the plan pushed by Governor Pete Ricketts that would have phased in tax cuts. Many farmers say they can't wait for that. And that is going to be the subject of our new poll question. Just how optimistic are you the legislature can get something done on property taxes in the near future? Pretty optimistic, somewhat optimistic, or not optimistic? Log on to Twitter and cast your vote. Governor Pete Ricketts is sending back a bill dealing with prairie dogs. Governor Ricketts vetoed LB 449, introduced by Senator Ernie Chambers, which would have repealed the Black-tailed Prairie Dog Management Act. That act was first passed in 2012 and gave counties the authority to manage prairie dog populations across the state. In his veto statement, the governor said the bill does not respect property rights. Biofuels were discussed earlier this month as Governor Pete Ricketts sat down at the White House with other leaders from farm states. The governor says President Trump supports the idea of going to E15 and having it all year round, which could create a demand for up to 2 billion more bushels of corn each year. Governor Ricketts is confident Nebraska farmers will be able to keep up if that demand rises.
We are the second leading ethanol producing state. We're actually below capacity right now from where we could be. So this is a potentially really big deal that could really help a lot with our farm economy.
President Trump has expressed support for having E15 available year-round. This week, Senator Deb Fischer asked the USDA about that.
I know many members here today have already expressed concern about where Administrator Pruitt is headed on that. I would echo Senator Ernst's words to you just a few minutes ago about the Secretary's commitment that he gave to her. He also gave such a commitment to me that he would uphold the letter of the law. We will continue to advocate to the President.
The Farm Bill debate has officially begun, and one farm group is saying he wants to see more changes to that draft before it becomes law. National Farmers Union saying the farm safety net does not reflect the current state of the farm economy. The group says weak commodity prices, large surpluses, and an increasing consolidated marketplace prevents farmers from receiving fair prices. And the Farm Bill needs to include more funding to offset potential damages to farm and ranch families. A film crew puts Nebraska horse racing in focus. Born to Reign is the title of a documentary in production. The crew has been in Grand Island this past week, and while many certainly think of the southern states and their connection to thoroughbred racing, there are several Nebraskans who've made a lasting impact on the industry.
Their records stand today. Everything that they've done is something that folks can look to today. The Breeders' Cup, that was one of the things that John Nayrud from western Nebraska created, and Jack Van Berg's horse won. Some of these horses won.
Jack Van Berg is best remembered for the horse Ali Sheba. He got his start in Columbus. The film will be released next year for the 100th anniversary of the first Triple Crown winner, a horse that also has Nebraska connections. Later, members of the Hastings College rodeo team are hanging up their boots. We'll explain why things are coming to an end. Next, how farmers can save on input costs without hurting yields.